Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
Hey, this is Paul Martin
and Ray the Roadie
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. How's it going today, Ray?
I'm dandy. I'm doing good. How you doing, Paul?
There you are again on my computer. What do you keep popping up on my computer for?
I'm everywhere. I'm like a virus.
Yeah, I guess you are.
Yes, the Miller Lite virus. So yeah, this is something a little different now. I'm going to call this the Rock and Roll Chicago vodcast.
Oh, I see. Okay.
See, I'm pretty clever.
You are. Yeah, you are. Okay, we'll call it a vodcast. It's a special edition, and we're doing. Hold on, where'd my CD go? Here it is. And we're going to be featuring this CD right here.
I've got that CD too.
Do you?
I do.
That's good because we're going to be featuring this CD. It's M&R Rush's first CD. It includes the EP that they did in 1980, or that we did, I guess, in 1980. And it was 4 songs on it. And
I think I got that EP at Cruisin' Music.
Did you really?
Or Hedgewish Records.
I think I got mine for free.
See, I had to buy mine.
Just saying, it's kind of beat up. You can see, you see the cracks in it, but
you play it a lot.
That's right.
You play a lot of it. Yeah,
I play it all the time.
Yeah,
sort of. But so we're gonna feature that. We're gonna be talking to some of the guys. What do you say we get started by talking with Marty? A little prelude from Marty.
Yes, a little prelude. So coming up next is Marty, and right after that, we're going to talk to Carl all about the Rock and Roll Chicago song. Probably your #1 hit.
Yes, you're right.
So let's get on to Marty and then to Carl.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go.
Hey everybody, I hope everybody's doing good on this Saturday. I know that we're all getting a little cabin fever. All the boys in the band been in their homes for anywhere from 12 to 17 days. We're putting this together because we thought that people are looking for things to do. I mean, how much Netflix can you watch? How much Zulu can you watch? All that good stuff. I've been doing a lot of it. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to play live for you, but we just can't right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of our music that we came up with back when we started out the band with our EP, Reach for the Stars, and some of the boys will give some commentary on it. So we hope that the next, I guess it'll be about an hour or so, that you enjoy our music, and we appreciate everybody coming on board. So stay safe, and we hope all your families are healthy. Keep on rocking.
So the first song on the album is Rock and Roll Chicago, and you guys had a lot of success with that song. Want to tell me a little bit about it, Carl?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs of all time. I started writing that thing probably back in 1975, back on Union Avenue, and I borrowed my brother's Les Paul. I was just goofing around, and the chorus came out of that. The Rock and Roll Chicago part came out of there. The rest of it, just over the years, the words came. But I wanted to write an anthem for the city of Chicago because we would play all these clubs all the time, and the crowds were just like fantastic. So I wanted to write a song about the people, and that's what Rock and Roll Chicago is. I put a lot of thought into the things that I could say about Chicago. The people that have heard the song 100 times probably know when I say Daley, I'm talking about Mayor Daley, or about drink green beer, St. Patrick's Day. My favorite line in the song is those people work their ass off. I'd say they do their best, though they seldom get the credit or the money or the rest that they deserve. Let's party in the Forest Preserve. Because everyone used to party in Forest Preserves back then.
Yes, they did.
Oh.
Now that song made it to the Loop album, didn't it?
It sure did. Chicago Rocks, Volume 1. There were 10 bands that made it to this album, and our song actually ended up being number 45 for the year in
That's
about
excellent.
1980.
That's
Yeah.
excellent. That's excellent.
And
Well,
I wanted to say when Paul sings the song, there's a part in there where he sings about the guitar players. There's a lightning fast guitar player on every single block, and when they all start jamming, they'll put you into shock. It's like he goes into shock when he sings the word. That's like my favorite part of the song.
do you have something to show us, Paul?
I do. I have the Loop countdown from that year, from 1980, and it's right here. Rock and Roll Chicago, M&R Rush, number 45.
Number 45 for the year. That was awesome.
Yeah. When we recorded it at Paragon Studios, I can remember us doing the harmonies and all of us up on the mic and singing it. And when you hear it, that's just the way it sounded when we sang it at Paragon Studios.
That's awesome,
So,
man. If it wasn't for that, our podcast wouldn't even have a theme song.
How about that?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot.
So let's take a listen to Rock and Roll Chicago.
I come from an industrial Midwest town where a lot of good people always get down all night with you. If it's alright with you. Well, I was schooled in a system and in churches I would preach, but I learned a hell lot more
Well, some people would say that the #1 song on this album is Rock and Roll Chicago, but there is another #1 song. That one was written by Roger. Want to tell us about that, Reg?
Yeah, actually, that song, actually, Carl Mosier and I wrote it together. It's a kind of an interesting story. Back in 1979 in Dubuque, Iowa, believe it or not, at a Jillian Hotel, it was a boutique hotel that we were staying at. And I don't know if it was the 4th or 5th floor. I was always a words guy. You know, when I wrote music, it was always like words and then looking for music to put to it. And Carl was always musical. So we got together at this hotel piano and we put the song together. And, you know, it was just all about the #1, you know, the motive for that song is basically, you're the most important person in the world. You know, your positive attitude with #1, like the sun, greatest in the universe. It's about just being aggressive, doing yourself, you know, positive attitude. So really, that's where that song came from.
That's great. That's great. You don't write that many songs for all the albums, do you?
No, but I think back then I was a little more involved in the songwriting, more of the words. I think, you know, from other songs, you know, that were involved there was God, Just for You, Carl. You remember that song?
Definitely,
and,
definitely.
Heaven, and yeah, but mostly it contrived from words. So I probably need to get back to doing that a little more.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, let's take a listen to #1.
Hurry up, get what you want. If you wait, it'll pass you by. Go out and find the best that money can buy. Ready or not, here you come. You won't take no for an answer. Go ahead, right through the red. You're the only one that really matters. 'Cause you're #1, you're like the sun, the greatest in the universe. 'Cause you're #1, the only one. You're gonna get what you deserve. Don't look back, the time is now. Go up and climb the ladder. If you're feeling weak, stop thinking strong. Come on and get it together. Ready or not, here you come. You won't take no for an answer. Go ahead, right through the red. You're the only one that really matters. 'Cause you're #1, you're like the sun, the greatest in the universe. 'Cause you're #1, the only one. You're gonna get what you deserve. The greatest in the universe. 'Cause you're #1, the only one. You're gonna get what you deserve.
So Paul, you had something to do with "Reach for the Stars." You sang that song. Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, I sing it. I didn't write it. It was written by Carl and Roger once again, and I but I sing it, and I love singing the song even to this day. I love singing the song. It's very positive, positive song. It talks about going after what you want to go after, and you need to reach for the stars in order to do that. And it's more something more that people should don't take for granted, actually, but go out there and get what you want, and do what you can do about getting it. So, but it's a very positive song, and I still love singing it.
So, Carl,
I love
Raj,
you-
you got something to say, or?
Yeah, I love Paul singing it too. He does a great job on it, and I also like all the double leads that are in that
The
song.
double
and
leads
all
are
the-
awesome. Yes.
and all the harmonies going up. It's I don't know if you noticed, but everything goes up, and then into the chorus. Reach for the stars, and I think that's one of our most music.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say. It's more
that we wrote.
more intricate song from the beginning, riff, the runs in the beginning, and all the way through the song. There's double leads and harmonies and everything. There's a lot put together in that song. I think it took a little while to record that also, just because of everything that was going down. So it turned out great, though.
Hey, Carl, my question though, are the drums loud enough in the recording on that song, Carl?
Marty, the drums are never loud enough. They could always be just a tinge louder.
There you go. There you go.
Funny.
All righty.
Let's take a listen to Reach for the Stars right now.
I remember all we had to do was sit back picture. I see you in the street. Our faces tell the story when our eyes do finally meet. You were looking for me, I was looking for you. Sometimes I can't explain the crazy things that I do. Oh, can't you see? You're more than the world to me. Oh, listen to me. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed was you, you, you. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed was you, you, you. You're all that I need. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed was you, you, you. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed was you, you, you. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed was you, you, you. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed was you, you, you. You're all that I need.
During the first years of M&R Rush, I was the writing force at the beginning, but everyone has contributes now. That's great. But yeah, surgery. I had that idea for it. I had just lost a girlfriend, and that's where that song came from. But at the beginning of it, it's an operating room, and they're doing surgery in it, and we did a lot of synthesizers in there, and just a lot of cool parts. There's even screams in there, and it's really a fun song. So, and Raj sang it. Raj sang it great.
I always sing, and I actually love singing that song. It's kind of a fun song to sing, but yeah, I miss singing that song. Maybe we ought to pull it out every now and then to a show and surprise people, because it's we could do that. I'm sure we could.
I agree. I think we should put that back in the set. 'Cause I enjoy playing it too. The weird thing about that though is, if you guys remember, and we did that at Jeff's studio, right? At
Star Treks.
Star Treks. But we had an outside producer come in.
Harry Brotman.
Harry Brotman, and from Chicagoland, and he had this whole vision. We gave him the whole song, and we had played it one way, and then he said, "No, I got all these other ideas for it," and he kind of Frankensteined it, even to the point where he talked me into using electronic drums, which I'm not really into electronic drums. I wasn't into electronic drums back then, and I'm not into electronic drums now. But we gave Harry free reign to produce that, and so that was the one thing that I remember about that song, Carl, is using those electronic drums in there.
Well, we had original version, right, that we did with more guitars, and we like that version better, actually.
So that's why we need to bring it back out live, Raj, and play it.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Why don't we check that song out, Ray? Surgery.
going out of my mind, thinking about you all the time. So I had surgery, I had surgery. Cut you out of my heart, out of my soul, out of my head. Cut you out of my dreams, you won't be hanging over me when I'm in bed. Cut you out of everything important to me, and now that it's done, yes, I'm finally free from it all once again. Thought you had me under your thumb, and when you called I would come, but I had surgery, I had surgery. You thought you had me under your spell, but baby you can go to hell, 'cause I had surgery, I had surgery. Cut you out of my heart, out of my soul, out of my head. Cut you out of my dreams, you won't be hanging over me when I'm in bed. Cut you out of everything important to me, and now that it's done, yes, I'm finally free from it all once again. Yes, I'm finally free from it all once again.
So John, you wrote "You Touched My Heart." Want to tell me a little bit about that?
Well, actually, that was Roger and myself. And from what I recall, and we'll start with, this is my recollection, and I'm sure Roger will jump in. But the first thing I do remember, it was 1978. And the reason I remember that is being a big Journey fan. Journey had just gotten Steve Perry as their lead vocalist. And they released Infinity, their first album with Steve Perry. And the first song on side one was Lights. And I liked that opening, the opening guitar riff. And I said, yeah, I gotta come up with something that kind of sounds something like this. I knew it wasn't going to sound just like it. So anyway, I remember, I don't know if I called Raj or Raj called me, and we said, hey, let's get together and work on some ideas. He said he had some. I said I had some. So I went to his apartment in Lansing, and that was on Burnham Avenue?
Yeah.
On Burnham Avenue. And I remember just sitting, I think we were sitting in your kitchen, and we just started throwing ideas back and forth. And we finished the song, I believe, within like an hour and a half. And what's that?
What I recall is kind of similar to number one. I had the words to the song, but I didn't have any music. And John came with the music and added the music to the whole song, and it kind of came together that way.
Yeah. I think there was I think there was both too. There was music traded and lyrics traded, and so then we started doing the song. But it's not like Lights, but the tempo was slower, and so we started doing the song. And we didn't play it every show because M&R Rush, we like to play at 11 and pedal to the metal the whole time. But we'd add it to the show every now and then, and we did it for a few years, and I think it kind of just disappeared off the set. And then we were putting together some songs in a demo for a release in the 80s. Now this is going 5-6 years later. And Carl came in and he said, I got an idea for the verse where the phrasing will be different. You'd be singing the words a little different. And I think Roger and I said, okay, great. And he goes, and I got a couple different words as well. So
we kept the bridge and the chorus the same, but the verse changed. And then Jeff took the lead vocal on it.
Right. We gave Jeff the lead vocal because I had been singing it all those years. We gave Jeff the lead vocal. And then we had just got done recording another original called If You Want Me. And it had a saxophone solo in it. Barry Spurdy from the All-Star Frogs. I think that's what they were called, All-Star Frogs. And he was in and he did the sax solo on If You Want Me. And we said, hey, we got another one. Would you try doing a saxophone solo on You Touch My Heart? If it works, we'll keep it. And lo and behold, he did a great job and we kept it. So yeah, the song evolved over 6 years from myself singing it to Jeff singing it to a saxophone solo, and here it is, You Touch My Heart.
Okay, the next song in our musical fiesta we're having today is The First Time I Saw Her, and that's a song by Jeff Loof. Tell us a little bit about that song, Jeff.
One of the stories that I thought about with that song was that first time I ever heard it on, we'll say, the radio, I was still living at my parents' house, and I heard it at like 1 in the morning. It was on rotation at a radio station. Can you hear me?
Yep, sure.
I don't want to be yelling, and then you go, why were you yelling? I heard it at like 1 in the morning for the first time ever, and I thought to myself, that was so cool. So my memory of first time I saw her was I used to hear it on radio, and it was on vinyl. They wouldn't let us send them a cassette.
Okay.
We had to send them vinyl for them to play the record.
Right.
And first time I saw her, the first time we ever played it live, actually Carl was a big writer of that song, believe it or not. No
Okay.
one can believe that, right? So I really, it was like I sang the song, but I never felt as though I was the owner of it. I felt Carl always owned it.
Okay.
Just to straighten out the record, if you're putting this out, you know, oh my gosh, there I am. Oh, I'm scared. Oh shit. Do I really look that bad?
No, you look great.
No, but all right, this makes me, I was more looking at everything. All right, here's the deal. When Carl wrote the song, he said, it's the first time I saw her, and we were playing live at that time, and he said, when you're looking out in front of us, that's kind of what it is, first time I saw her. So after we were doing that song for a while, I did look out there, and I know there was people that I seen, and I thought, maybe that's the person. I didn't have a person when it was first time I saw her.
Okay.
You know, they always tell the truth about a song.
Right.
It's like, it was kind of whatever's in your mind. That's kind of what I always thought it was.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, I guess I was the owner.
Of course you were.
I owned it. But yeah, it was fun hearing it on the radio. It became for real all of a sudden hearing it on the radio.
Oh, it always does. A lot of people say that first time you
yeah.
hear it on the radio.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a rock star.
There you go.
So what is this? A show that I'm doing? That's what. See, they said, all right, Jeff, this is like trying to get on a spaceship to even get into this thing.
No, this is the very first ever Rock and Roll Chicago podcast video.
Wow.
And welcome to it.
Wow. This is really cool, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm clueless, though. I didn't even know how to get in here.
Yeah, well, Saturday night, you'll be all over the internet.
I'm never on the internet. That's what sucks.
You will be now. So, okay, well, thanks a lot, Jeff, for a little insight on that song, and let's take a listen to it right now.
Sounds good.
Coming back for more.
Well, there you have it. The very first album by M&R Rush, titled M&R Rush. So I want to thank all you guys for hanging out with me and talking about your album and giving us a little backstory. Thanks a lot, and hopefully we'll get together next week. We'd like to bring you The Thrill of the Chase, the #2 album CD, for those of you that don't know what an album is. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope to see you next week.
And I just want to say thanks for everyone for tuning in, and keep your social distancing and stay safe. And we look forward to seeing you once we get back on the road. And make sure you get out there and exercise and put the cookie down.
Reiterate. Oh, Jesus. Reiterate what John just said. You might want to take that out, right?
Hey, stop.
Oh, no.
Try it again.
Oh, my God. No, I just said I want to reiterate what John just said about staying safe, distances from each other, and just keep on rocking.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we want to thank Ray the Roadie too for all his hard work. And I'm going to go wash my hands. I suggest you do the same. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Ray the Roadie. And what do I say next? Takes ever, aren't they? What do I say next? So me right there.
Oh, my hat? Oh. I just wanted to say thank you, appreciate it. I want to say shout out to all the boys there and their houses and everything sitting in there. But thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Took an hour of your time to get you to think about something else than what's going on around the world. And like everybody said, stay safe. Keep on rocking.
Peace.
Good night.
So that was M&R Rush's very first full-length album.
Yes, it was. And we thank you all for joining us tonight. And we'll bring you another album next Saturday night.
Some album from somewhere, somebody, maybe another M&R Rush, maybe someone else. Who knows?
Yes, yes.
You can tell we're very bored. We need to do something. We need to get back out podcasting.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So
okay, keep your social distances out there, people. Stay home.
Learn
to cook. Wash your hands. There's Netflix. There's Hulu. There's Amazon Prime. There are some awesome shows. You got to watch Ozark. Ozark's awesome.
Yes, yeah, it is.
So just be safe out there, everybody. And got a new podcast coming out this Tuesday. And check in next Saturday. See who will be playing.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for checking us out on this new and exciting media that we have for you.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast live.
It's gone to video.
It's gone to video. Let us know what you think. Drop us a line. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna